Just been kind of wanting to work, try to get back into the flow of things. It's hard out here, man, when you ain't been out here for a minute, you know. Even for me, you know, it's hard for me too, man. It takes a minute to get my body used to everything, but the thing about me is that if I start feeling a certain type of way, tired, ill, whatever, I just go home. You know, for the most part, I will. I don't let the business really drag me too hard. Usually over the years, it's always been the labor that really drags the business, and that drags me. But this year, I'm going in with a whole new outlook. I'm not depending on help 100%. So if you don't ever depend on it, then you don't really have to have it. I mean, like I said earlier, I've went up on some customers, I've dropped a few customers, gone up on a lot of customers. So I don't have as many customers, but the ones I do have are top notch. And every couple of years I do that. I don't do it every year because, well, you never know who's going to drop you. But after last year was probably about the worst summer that I had as far as labor goes. Yeah, and the dude wasn't even a drug addict or an alcoholic. That Toby guy was I mean, well, he had me thinking that he was going to be this, and he wasn't any of those things. And that hurt me because I was thinking that he was going to be able to, you know, take some of this stuff off my plate. And he actually added to the plate by had me thinking that he was going to be reliable, and he couldn't make it out here. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. And people say, well, it's because you put him out there on YouTube. No. He quit way before I started doing that. I put him on YouTube when he left me high and dry. That's what I did, when he thought he was going to keep dragging me at $1,000 a week, you know, or whatever. So, I had to make a hard decision to go on and cut ties, because I wasn't going to let him, you know, continue to be on staff getting paid and not know nothing. So this year I'm not going in depending on nobody. I'm not depending on Cam. I'm not depending on Jensen. The only thing I'm depending on is myself and the experience that I've learned out here with doing the yards, the logistical part of doing the yards, and then also learning what yards to go up on, what ones to drop, and then on top of all that, learning how the labor works, learning how, you know, not having to depend on the freaking labor man hardcore. You know, well, you just did a 10 pallet saw job, you was dependent on labor. I know. What kind of fool that don't have no labor takes on a 10 pallet saw job right here? The money was just too good, but I made it happen, right? A couple of guys were saying, you know, you let Cat and another guy run the other truck. Cat doesn't Cat doesn't want to run the other truck. Cat doesn't have the lawn maintenance experience required, really. She could do it though, but she doesn't want to. It's really, you know, you gotta know what you're doing, you know. And though she, you know, she's better than any of the guys that come out here. She's not better than Justin though. She's just got more experience than everybody else. But there's a difference in having experience and running the other truck. I mean, I got this other guy, the one that y'all heard the message yesterday calling me. I'm just dodging this call, man. I'm gonna text him and say, man, I'm not gonna be hiring right now, because right now I'm not gonna be hiring. I don't want to deal with the stress, man, of a second truck right now. I don't. Well, Ray, then you need to sell the second truck. Never do that. I'm always going to have that backup truck. That backup truck, the month that this truck was in the shop, that backup truck stepped to the plate, and that backup truck did everything and then some, and ready to do more. And I'm going to have somebody out here for a while before I put them in that truck. I'm not going to, you know, the notion that I'm going to hire somebody that's ready to run the second truck, that's probably not, I don't see that happening. Even if they're qualified, even if they're capable, even if they're all the things that they say they are, I don't want to deal with it, because what happens, y'all, is I become relying on them. And I don't want to rely on anybody. When I rely on somebody to run the second truck, it's a big chunk of the workload that I push over to the other truck. And then when they don't show up, they can't drive the truck, they can't, you know, they have a wreck, or they quit, you know, then I'm in the middle of the pool and I can't swim. That's what happens when people quit on you after you go through the motions of training them. It's gonna have to, for me to hire somebody for the second truck, it's gonna have to organically happen. They're gonna have to be in the truck with me, and you know, then we'll just take on more work as we can. I'm not worried about getting customers. I don't even worry about that shit, man. I worry more about being able to do what I say I'm gonna do without it killing me. But that's how it is out here. It's been like that the whole time I've been in business. But I was too naive and too know-it-all, I guess would be a good word, to recognize all that. I didn't have any experience when I started this crap, man, so I didn't know. And it's taken me this long to figure everything out. Maybe I'm slow, but it ain't been wasted time. Y'all see the equipment, y'all see the evolution from just mowing to skid steer to, you know, everything. It ain't like I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm spending my money on what I'm supposed to. One guy come in the comments talking about, you ain't a master of your money, you finance everything. Well, I don't finance everything, but I do make calculated choices on what I finance. Of course I finance a truck like this, of course. I mean, most people do, with interest, yeah. But all I got is one mower that I make payments on. I own 4 of them, and I got one that I make payments on. It's like $200 a month, no interest. Man lift's paid for. I could have paid cash for the skid, but why would I do that? I didn't want to do that. I mean, to me, a Mac with your money is using other folks' money to make money. That's a real Mac. I mean, the only thing I was concerned about with the skid and why I put as much down as I did is because I needed to get my payment under $800 a month. And that's what was required to get the payment under $800 a month. I could have went down to the dealer and came off the whole $82,000 or whatever it was. But why would I stretch myself like that for a machine? And the interest I'm paying on the Kubota is like, I mean, what, 1.9 or something? It's, you know, it's nothing. So that's just some things to think about when you're thinking about, when you're trying to tell me, oh, you ain't shit with money, Ray. It all depends on where you come from, right? I don't come from money, man. I don't come from, you know, I probably make more money in this business than, well, anybody in my family. I can't think of anybody in my family, even my uncle that passed away that worked for Delta. I don't think he made more money than I made. He was by far the most successful member of my family. See, when you come from nothing and you get to where I'm at now, which is not big or nothing, but it's sustainable, and I'm doing it, man. I'm actually doing it. I'm not on the fence, and that is everything. So when you got a shade to throw at me about, you know, There's people been in business 10 years and they're 10 times further along than you. Great, man. I mean, okay, cool. But I got very low debt in my business for what my business is, and I'm not just talking about what I do, right? You know, you got guys that come on here that want to give you instruction and tell you how to do everything and nitpick every little thing, and they ain't doing nothing. They ain't showing nothing anyway. That's, you know, I live in a show me world. That's what I live in. And I know there's a lot of the most successful lawn maintenance companies and the most successful landscapers in the world don't do YouTube. I know that. I get it. But if they come in my comments and they talk sideways at me, I ain't hearing it. You know? And as far as, you know, Chad did a video talking about Jim over there, Dirty, you know, Dirty, Jim's got everybody snowed so much, he's got Chad calling him Paul, because he played the alias of Paul for over a year. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be friends with him. I don't give a damn. I mean, I don't have to display hate, but anybody that I'm friends with, that anybody that I'm friends with, that I confide in, that I can call or whatever, I have to trust them. I have to trust their judgment. And I don't trust freaking that dirty dude. Yeah. I trust Bo more than him. I trust damn Zach more than him. That's where he's at on my totem pole. And then on top of all that, I don't like him because he's such a fraud, you know. And I know, you know, I ain't being nice, but, you know, I don't care nothing about being nice to folks that have handled me a certain type of way. So, and the thing about it is, I don't have to. I don't have to concede or bow down, or I don't see me ever being friends socially, business-wise, or any kind of way with that dude, because I don't trust him. And once you go there, then it's over. Any of my friends I trust. So, and anybody that would trust that dude after how you guys saw him play the game with me for a year, I mean, business owners don't do that. They don't have time for that crap. I would never take time to troll somebody for a year under an alias. I might come into your video and say some crazy shit, but it's gonna be from my account. Who has time to make up all these fake accounts? I'll tell you who has time. Somebody that ain't got no business. That ain't doing nothing. That's just maybe used to, but they're not doing nothing now. Well, just because they don't show it, Ray, that don't mean they ain't doing nothing. Yeah, it does. In this case, it does. Because you know good and damn well, if he could show it, he would. Just to show me wrong, to prove me wrong, to show me up. It's a clown, man. Playing clown games. And, you know, I'm not, you know, this is a guy that come at me talking about I'm not even in business. How ignorant is that? That's got to be one of the most ignorant statements I've ever heard. It's more than likely he's not in business than I'm not in business. If I had to guess. Let's see. A guy that don't never do any videos or anything, don't ever see him really doing anything, no posts or nothing, except for to give lame advice on something that maybe he used to do in the 90s. Or a guy that is, well, he's putting videos out every day showing you Who's in business and who ain't? I don't know. I know I'm in business. I show it. So, but yeah, Chad, I appreciate, you know, you coming to the meeting of the minds, and under normal circumstances, I'd go for that, because I'm not one to hold hard feelings for long. But this guy is, well, he's beyond all that for me. Anybody that could methodically, diabolically, I know I can put them two in the same sentence, you know, troll somebody for a year trying to be their, and acting like he's their friend, and they do that for over a year. They're beyond they're beyond anything that I could even think of as anybody, a friend. That ain't never gonna happen, and I don't want to even be around them. Never, ever, ever. So, and if anybody's on the fence about all that, I mean, look at it from my point of view. You know, I thought he was my friend, and he wasn't. So my feelings got hurt, and yeah, I'm grown. And he violated a hardcore violation, if you ask me. It's like my best friend, you know, robbing my mama or something. No, man, we can't be friends. Sorry, don't matter, because I have choices in my life, and I choose not to be around people like that. I'm not gonna knowingly be around somebody that does all that stupid. I'm not. But man, you know, I appreciate Chad, and I respect the hell out of Chad. You know, Chad's a good dude, and he's trying to believe in the best in people. And I'm not one of those guys that if you're friends with him, you can't be friends with me. It doesn't matter, you know. People can be friends with whoever they want to be friends with on here. I'm not gonna not be friends with Chad because he's friends with that dude. I would just be warning Chad, you know, that watch the hammer, because he ain't known to be an upstanding guy, you know. So that's my take on that, man. Okay, so now I need to go down here, get my sandwich, drop this invoice off at the Mexican restaurant so I can go and get a check from them, come back here, and me and Sweet Pea gonna chill. Yeah. Get ready to go cut about $900 more tomorrow. So, but I don't, you know, I don't want nobody to. I'm not telling people, you know, what to do or who to hang with or whatever. I'm just telling you what I think, and I ain't no slouch, especially when it comes to all the theatrics of some of these YouTube people. And how I've learned by, you know, thanks Jim for teaching me about how scandalous and, you know, YouTube really is. I appreciate that. I really do. I mean, but anyway, yeah. That's all, folks.